What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna talk about a new gem. And you already know what that is because it's right now on the screen. I mean, are you kidding me, guys? I've been talking about souls for a while now, so it was literally long overdue that I would have published a video discussing this in detail, doing the analysis of the tokenomics and everything that this project has in the books. So without any further ado, let's get started. But actually, first, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I mean, what the hell are you doing with your life? Don't forget to drop a like. This really helps the algorithm to put my channel out there. And now, let's actually get started. So first of all, I want to take a quick look at the listing on Coinmarketcap because you know, guys, that I always start the reviews like this, and I can easily say that Souls is still a gem. You heard about it first. I was talking about this when it was 1 million something, and guess what? This is still a gem. You're still not late because the market cap is below 2 million, okay? Right now, it's still, of course, going up and down. It's 1.8 million in market cap. And as you guys know, this is very small for the kind of taste that I have for discovering new gems. If the market cap is around or below 2 million, you can expect a lot of volatility in the market, okay? This can literally go both ways with double-digit red or green candle days every single day. So you should leave your emotions at bay if you're investing in something like this, which is still a very early project, guys. I can't stress this enough. You need to leave your emotions at bay if you invest in something that is so small in market cap. I mean, of course, you're gonna take a higher risk, but you're potentially gonna get crazy returns because I'm gonna tell you about price prediction and multipliers at the end of this video. The chart looks pretty good if you ask me. Of course, we've had a drop off because this is pretty much all that happens in gaming projects. You know, there's some kind of pre-allocations and people are gonna sell right away, but this is not that, okay? This is not a project that is down 99 or 98% from all-time high, like a lot of projects that you guys send me in the live streams and get me super triggered. This is only down 57% from all-time high. The chart looks as good as it gets, in my opinion, for a very early project. This has been around 6 months, which is, again, in my recommendations. And if you want to see all of my criteria for which I gem hunt, then make sure to join the Patreon because I literally did a crash course on this. But this is around 6 months old, which is good because I don't want a project that has gone through a bull market before in the majority of cases, because those projects are very down from all-time high. They're probably not going to recover, at least most of them. Otherwise, I would just invest like a few dollars in all these projects. They're down 99.99% from all-time high, hoping that they're all going to pass their all-time high. That is not going to happen. So you need to find projects like this are relatively new. Also, it's built on Polygon. This is also quite a big deal, guys, because I do think that there's going to be a renaissance of all of these projects that are built on alternative chains to Ethereum. So that is good news to me. And the exchange situation is also pretty good. We have Maxi right here, which is the exchange that I use. Then we have Gate.io and QuickSwap, which is a DEX built on Polygon, because of course this is built on Polygon. Now, let's actually talk about the project itself. The Unfettered ecosystem, or the solvers, as basically this is marketed, is an aggregation of the main game, which is the Unfettered, a series of mobile games, sort of like mini games that are still in this universe and kind of like complement this whole experience. The first one is called the Unfettered Awakening. This has just been released. It's still in beta. You can play it both on mobile and on PC. I'm going to get back to it in a second. And also a software solution that is called OK, spelled like OK. I'm going to put it down in the screen. And this is very interesting. Payment solution that allows Web2 transactions on a Web3 environment. What do I mean by that? So essentially, you're going to be able to link a credit or a debit card on the mini game on mobile, and you're going to be able to buy Souls token with your card, and these are actually going to be transactions on the blockchain. A wallet is going to be automatically generated for you. So that is actually very interesting, guys, because that allows all of these players that belong to Web2 for a smoother transaction to Web3, because it's literally like these players are still on Web2, but they're actually in Web3. So I'm very bullish on this, and I'm going to go back to it in a second. But what makes me so bullish on this, guys, as I was saying before, is the main game. Because, of course, these mini games are all good and all, but they're probably trash if you compare them to the actual game, which makes me so bullish. So I'm a previous gamer. I used to play Dark Souls games. I played Bloodborne. I used to love these kind of games. And although I do consider this kind of like a niche sphere of gaming, because if you haven't guys played these games, like I'm gonna show you some gameplay, but it's games that are very hard to play. You need to be very skilled, and it's not a game that like somebody that is like 80 years old would play, okay? It's probably something that people in their 20s or late teens or whatever would play. It's very hard, it's 3D, and it kind of like mimics what Dark Souls was, which is something I'm very bullish on, because if you guys know, I like this kind of project that copy something that is already affecting in Web 2. Just like Unfettered Souls is doing right now with Dark Souls, I'm also bullish on Shrapnel, that they're doing what Call of Duty is, or I'm bullish on Lil Labs, because they're basically copying StarCraft and League of Legends. There is nothing wrong with that, and also, the expectations are not that these games are gonna be as good or even better than the original. It's probably not gonna be the case. However, this is actually one of the most playable and best looking games that I've seen in Web3, because it's built on Unreal Engine 5, which is actually a big deal. Let's stop me talking and let's actually get back to the game, because guess what? It's gonna be published on Steam, which is again a very big deal, because this is literally built and born on Web 2. This is very, very good. So let's actually have a look at some of the...
Thing like ruling the upper and lower world. But now I say the same thing about rebirth. Unfettered warrior of demonic soul. The Unfettered.
Maybe I choose the wrong video, shame on me. Maybe this is better.
The sky and the sea in days of yore. I must confess there was nothing like ruling the upper and lower world. But now I say the same thing about rebirth.
Sick.
Now the gods have bestowed me a chosenness with all their might. Yet I can still feel my wings soaring towards freedom and my body sinking into darkness. I'm Lura, the unfettered warrior of demonic souls.
I actually want to play this myself. I actually got me back to gaming a little. Guys, hype, community, marketing. This is actually what builds and makes these games successful and make you generate a lot of profit out of investing in a project like this. Here's how the token utility is going to be implemented. Basically, there's no token generation inside of the game. You will basically have to pay an entry fee when playing this game. It will be sent to a reward pool, and then according to the position in the leaderboards inside of the game, you're gonna get the rewards based on when you come first, second, or third in the matches. So that is also a very interesting way of doing it, because other projects like Big Time, for instance, were just assigning tokens like randomly to players just to for putting like time inside the game. So I actually prefer a mechanism like this that actually rewards skills. It's something, in my opinion, very bullish. And by the way, guys, I think that I forgot to say before, but before I forget, this starts as a single player game, and then the story continues, and then it's going to be both PvP and PvE. So you're still going to be able to play as a single player, like inside the environment, defeating new bosses, etc., etc. But you're also gonna be able to do like a co-op mode and play against other players, etc., etc. And that is pretty much how you're gonna be able to get the rewards, and we get to the rewards pool that we were talking about before. As you can see, this is pretty much built on Web 2 and transition to Web 3. Okay, so this is the minigame actually, which I've actually tried to play on mobile, and I gotta say that on mobile the controls are a bit clunky. Like, I think they're a bit hard to maneuver. On desktop it actually looks much better. But anyway, you can see that you can purchase like characters and stuff just by using souls, and here this is actually how Oki, the software, works. It basically looks like you're making just a transaction on the Google Play or App Store, but actually this is a transaction that is being generated on the blockchain, and you can see right here that an address is generated for your transaction, and you can see right here the transaction ID that are basically generated once you buy with a credit or a debit card. This is actually something revolutionary, which I haven't seen projects really doing. So this makes me even more bullish on this project. Here's some more of the gameplay, and guys, this kind of looks, if you have played Dark Souls, this is pretty much it. This is how these games are structured. Very hard to play games. You need to be able to dodge and parry at the perfect time. Otherwise, you're literally dead in a matter of a second. It has a niche. Like, guys, if you have never played this kind of games, you probably don't know it. But they have literally a cult-like following, which is what I like about this and why I think that despite the fact that it's very niche, it has so much fucking potential. As I was saying before, this is kind of like a Dark Souls story. It starts on Web 2 and then it continues on Web 3, both in PvE and PvP mode, with an NFT reward system. There's the arena PvP mode that is going to be kind of like, you see, the last man standing in the arena. And then there's going to be like a speedrun PvP, single player, leaderboard token reward pool system, which I think is going to be like who finishes first, this kind of thing. And you get like compared to other players. I think that's pretty much how it's going to work. But again, don't quote me on that. I have no idea. This is just like my assumptions on it. Again, this is the mini game that you can literally just download it for yourself and you can have a look. The Oki solution is still in alpha testing, so you can't really use it yet, but you can already download this video game on the App Store and the Google Play Store, as I was saying before. Here's some of the gameplay. You can check a little more about this, but what I'm going to say is that, yeah, they're going to develop new mini games, mobile games, whatever. This is just the first of the universe. There's going to be another 4. Now, I have no idea about the timeline of this, but I know that the actual Unfettered Souls game is going to be released at some time next year, which I'm super hyped about. This is actually one of the first games that I'm actually going to play this when it gets released. It's not just for a personal investment, which of course, that's the primary reason why I'm talking about this project, because I want to generate generational wealth at the peak of the bull run. That is why I'm investing in projects like this. But, well, if I can have some fun along the way and actually play a game that is in Web3 and looks decent, well, I'm all for it, 100%. The team is doxed, which, hallelujah, this is good. Everybody's doxed. You can check them out right here. They all have like LinkedIn pages, etc. So the team exists and is legit. There's no like emoji or weird stuff right here. All good on this. You don't want to invest in the long term in projects in which the team is anonymous, because chances are that they're gonna rug you, or it can literally be a rug pull. Yeah, the project can literally go to 0 and they're not gonna face consequences, so they are more inclined to do that. This is not gonna happen here because they're doxed. That is very bullish, of course. And if we look at the tokenomics, actually, we can have a look right here. And I'm not gonna deny this is not the best tokenomics that I've ever seen. If we see it right here, it's quite a bit centralized. If we sum and add up all of the public and private sale we have, let me do a calculation and get back to you. Well, it's pretty much like 40-something% in terms of like team allocation and private sales, etc., etc. But you also need to check at what the vesting is going to look like, because, for instance, the team is going to have a 12-month cliff. So that is quite important. So they're not going to be vested until, let's say, summer 2024, which is a big deal because it's even after the Bitcoin halving. If you hunt for new gems, you realize that most projects will have like a big cliff in terms of vesting around the Bitcoin halving, which is going to occur, as you guys all know, in April 2024. This seems like it's going to be a little later than that, and then it's going to be linear vesting for 24 months. For instance, like here and here, 3 months linear vesting and 25 STG. This is definitely something that you don't want to exclude. There's still some kind of degree of centralizations, and the people that bought a public sale or private sale, whatever, these people are probably gonna take their profits once their tokens are unlocked. So guys, this is definitely something that you need to consider as well if you're getting into a project like this. Like, don't disregard this information because it's very important. But overall, this is kind of like average for the gaming industry. I don't think it's worse than projects like GFAL or Miria or Little Up Games. It's not worse than them, so something that I'm gonna take. Of course, not the best tokenomics in the world, but we're talking about a gaming project, and most gaming projects are actually much more than this. So it's not a blogger for me at all. It seems to be quite big on social media. On their X profile, they have 76k followers, and it seems quite organic. I'm not sure if they're using some kind of bot or fake traffic. The engagement is not like massive, like to scream for fake traffic for me, and here it looks pretty much organic. So yeah, I'm not gonna make assumption. I don't really care. I've even invested in projects that use bots, to be honest, and I honestly don't care that much. It's something that pretty much most projects do, but it's actually a good sign if I don't see any like weird red flags in the comments, like I was seeing, for instance, for like Cyber Arena Cat, that project. Like they are literally 100% bot traffic in every post. Here it doesn't seem to be the case. They have a lot of announcements right here, AMAs. They just released the mini game, and they're doing a lot of stuff right here, posting a lot of trailers and everything. So actually a good stuff, because there's a lot of lore, and as I was saying before, this project kind of has a cult-like following, and that's why I like it so much. This is why I do believe, as a previous gamer of this kind of series of games myself, that this has a lot of fucking potential. Concluding this analysis, guys, as you guys know, this is very small market cap. I might have literally discovered a new gem. As much as I predict a lot of things, I am not an oracle, but I do forecast that this is gonna do quite well. This is not financial advice, this is just my own opinion based on my personal analysis that you've seen in this video, but the market cap is still so small. Like, I don't think that it's crazy to think that this has anywhere between a 50 to a 200x. I'll just say it. This can even do 100x and more, which makes me very bullish. Like, think about when more exchanges come in place, when they're gonna have more decentralized exchanges, more centralized exchanges, when this gets listed on tier 1 exchanges, perhaps like Binance and Coinbase in the next couple of years. Guys, this has a lot of potential, and I think that it's gonna make a lot of investors very rich. Okay, guys, so I hope that you found value out of this video, as always. And if you wanna know every time that I discover a new gem, you're gonna hear it first in the Patreon. Don't hesitate to join, because guys, this is gonna get very expensive in the new year when the bull run is gonna start. So many more members. We're already at 216 members. Oh my god, dude, this is growing so rapidly. It's insane. You get all my buy and sellers every time that I buy and sell a crypto, access to my private elite live streams. You're gonna be able to track my portfolio. You're gonna get access to the Moonshots watch list, all the crypto that is under my radar, and you basically can get access even before I make an entry into this project, which is insane. And just that is enough value for money for joining this. I'm creating one of the most thriving and no bullshit communities of crypto investor. I'm so proud of it. You also guys are making this community amazing, and you don't want to be a lone wolf investor. That's the thing. Like, you want to join a community of like-minded people. Everybody's gonna push each other up, and of course I'm gonna give you all of my gems, all of my buy and sellers, so you're gonna be able to make life-changing profit and perhaps even retire in a couple of years at the peak of the bull run. So as always, guys, I hope to see you in the Patreon and in my Discord, so I can actually personally help you out with your crypto investing journey. And until then, take care for now.